It's Thirsty Thursday. You're so thirsty, thirsty Thursday. Thirsty for knowledge, thirsty Thursday. Drink it up.
We're wrapping up our Get Organized series with some tips for the maintenance pro. That's right, if you're a maintenance technician, maintenance supervisor, or on the Make Ready team, you need to be watching this video because this will help you better prioritize and organize your day. First things first, insist on that morning meeting. Make sure that you take time to meet with your manager every single morning. Even if they don't initiate it, make it a priority because you want to ensure that you're on the same page, that they understand your workload for the day, your intentions for the day, and what is a priority, that you're on the same page, that you understand what is considered an emergency, and where their head is at as to what the expectation is of your work for the day. Next, you'll want to review all of the work orders that you have planned to complete that day. Make sure you do that while you're still with your manager. So if you have any questions about the information on the service request, you can go right then to your manager and say, hey, listen, I need more details. Can you make this call or can you give it to someone else to get more details so that you don't have to wait till you're standing at the resident's front door to get the valuable information that you need in order to complete the job. Once you've reviewed your tickets and you know what's expected of the day, the next thing you want to do is go to your shop and collect your parts. That's right. Don't do it one ticket at a time. Get what you need for the day. Now that doesn't mean that you'll never have to go back to your shop again because we all know that residents report one thing and when you get there it's completely something different. But you want to go ahead and pull the parts together that you're going to need for the work that you've been assigned so that you don't have to make as many trips to the shop as you may have been making in the past. So prepare by pulling everything that you need for the work orders that you have received so far. And that brings me to my next tip, having a clean and organized shop. This means that everything has a place. You have clearly labeled bins for all of the parts, and so you can keep track of your inventory and know when things need to be reordered. It allows you to quickly gather the things that you need without having to go through a mess of parts and tools and maybe even mistakenly making orders for things that you already have but you just can't find. So be sure that you keep that shop clean. In fact, take time at the end of each day to just put things in their place. The next suggestion I have is to create a daily checklist. Now again, your work orders vary, and so your job for the day may vary, but there are some particular tasks that are routine, and every property is different. So in some cases, you may have to clean the grounds or clean the pool. In other cases, it may be strictly working on those service requests and maybe doing a few preventative maintenance items. So it's important that you have a checklist for the day so that you can keep track of all the things that are required of you, and every day you're able to take action on those items. One of the biggest distractions and time suckers of our maintenance team is those darn radios. Yeah, they get call after call. They get interrupted by the office personnel, and sometimes it is for legitimate emergencies and other times it's just to say, hey, we have another ticket in the office for you. So it's important that we schedule timed check-ins. I suggest 3 to 4 check-ins a day. So obviously you'll be in the office first thing in the morning, you'll check in before lunch, you'll check in after lunch, and then you can check in a 4th time before the end of the day, and then come back for your afternoon meeting. By doing these timed check-ins, it eliminates the need for these ongoing calls on your radio or telephone. The only time we should be calling our maintenance personnel and disturbing them throughout the day is if there is an emergency that they need to drop what they're doing right now and go straight to handle that emergency. Otherwise, if we have planned timed check-ins, we know that if they came in at 8, that they're going to be back in at 11. And anything that happens between 8 and 11, we can make sure to connect with them and tell them at that 11 a.m. check-in. So by timing these connections, it allows the maintenance team to know, hey, I'm not going to be interrupted unless there's an emergency. during these times and I can be more productive. And it allows the management team to know, hey, I know that this person is going to come in and check in, so I don't need to call them right now. So it allows both parties to be more productive with their time and have less stress. My next tip for your maintenance team is to have a structured ordering process. Every company does this different. Some of you have electronic ordering systems or inventory systems, amazing, and others are doing it by hand. But my suggestion to you is to have a particular day of the week or day of the month, depending on how your property does ordering, that you actually do orders. So for me, on my properties, I always place orders on Tuesdays. And so all of my team members knew that if they needed anything, they better have that order on my desk by the end of the day on Monday so that I could place the order on Tuesday. It gave everyone the opportunity to come in on Monday, kind of assess what they needed for the week, put their order together, and then gave them overnight to think about it and make any changes with me first thing Tuesday morning if they needed to. And that allowed everyone to kind of know what was going to happen, and that if they didn't get something on the list this week, we were going to place another order next week. Now, every management company works differently, so you may not have the luxury of ordering on a weekly basis, but whatever your ordering procedure is, make sure you have a process and a procedure in place. Make sure the team is aware of it. And if you're on the maintenance side of things, I would put a dry eraser board or some sort of list available in your shop, especially if you have a team of more than one person that is conducting maintenance on the property. This allows them to document things that need to be ordered as the inventory lessens. So let's say that you typically want to keep 5 flappers on your property and someone uses a couple and now you're down to 3. You're not out of the item completely, but you know that this is an item that you use often. And so now we're gonna put that on the board, on the dry erase board or on the list, so that the next time we order, we make sure to order enough for our inventory. It allows you to communicate your needs throughout the team. Everybody's putting it in the same place, and we're not relying on one person to remember everything, or we're not forgetting that there's items that we need. So the moment that an item is needed, you just put it up on the board, and you know that the next time an order is placed, everything on that board will be ordered. And my final tip for you maintenance pros out there is to ensure that you have time at the end of the day for effective follow-up. Whether you're required by your company to follow up with residents after requests have been completed, or you're just following up with your own management team, letting them know what you've completed, what might be pending, and what parts have to be ordered. This is an important part of the maintenance process. And by improving our communication and being clear in our communication, following up with both our residents and our team members, it allows us to be more productive in our time and not waste time the next day on conversations that we could have had with a simple afternoon chat. That brings us to the end of our Get Organized series. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the little bell so you can get reminders every time I release new content every Monday and Thursday. Have a great day and be inspired.